Hey there, it's Kat, coming to you from my car today. I've decided that it's time to share my plexus why with you and to tell you exactly what started me on this journey and what plexus may be able to do for you. So, um, the start of my story goes back to when I was a young girl. I actually, for as long as I can remember, have suffered from GI issues. I've always had tummy trouble. I always had an upset stomach. I always had chronic constipation or diarrhea and always went from one to the other extreme. Then, moving ahead into my teenage years, I suffered from joint pain and muscle pain, and sometimes it would be debilitating. Nobody ever had an answer for what it was, so it was chalked up to being growing pains. Okay, fast forward again a little bit further into my 20s. I'm a young mom. I have 2 little kids. At one point, I started suffering some really bizarre symptoms. And I really believe that had they happened today, I would have been tested for any number of autoimmune illnesses. But because of the time that it happened, those things didn't come into play. I was hospitalized at one point for a quote-unquote virus that had attacked my body. I was in the hospital for a week. No one ever had an answer as to what happened. During this time, the muscle and joint pain became excruciating. The GI issues worsened. I ended up having antidepressants thrown at me like they were candy, and most of them had one of 2 effects on me. Either they didn't help at all, or they were so strong that they put me in bed for 3, 4, 5 days or a week. And as a young mom with 2 little kids, obviously I couldn't do that. So I just ended up not taking them and dealing as best I could with the symptoms. Moving on a little bit further, all of that continues, and then I start having cardiac symptoms. So there's a very strong family history of cardiac disease, and I ended up getting the worst of the gene pool where that's concerned, and I ended up getting an implanted defibrillator. Along with that, they discovered that I had a carotid artery that was occluded, so I ended up having surgery for that. Time goes on, I then end up having gallbladder issues. The gallbladder comes out, and then they decided that I needed to have, I needed to be watched very carefully because my IBS was flaring very, very bad. So, through the course of normal testing and blood work and whatnot, well, sure, my cholesterol is elevated, and oh wow, because there's not enough wrong with me, hey, you've got diabetes too. So, fast forward again, now I'm in my 50s. I'm a mom of 4. I have 4 grown children. I have today 4 grandchildren. At the time, I had 3. I'm blessed with another one recently. But I ended up having to have surgery to remove my entire large intestine. Sorry. Pretty much I was told that it was the only solution to my problem. I had been experiencing GI bleeds, and I was told that if I didn't have the surgery, there was no telling what complications I may have from a cardiac standpoint, and the surgery will take care of it because once it's gone, everything will be fixed. Well, once it was gone, all was not fixed. And I continued to suffer from what I consider to be even worse symptoms. I was in the bathroom upwards of 20 times a day. I did not want to leave my house, and most days I couldn't, even if I wanted to. The worst part of it for me, I didn't even want to see my grandbabies. It was just too hard to explain to them why Nana was in the bathroom all the time. Why doesn't Nana come out and play with us? Why can't Nana do the things that she used to do? It was horrible. Anyway, I was at that time taking 8 different prescription medications, including 2 antidepressants. One wasn't enough. And I was also taking 4 physician-directed over-the-counter medications, 2 of them being 2 different probiotics that they had recommended that I take. In those prescription meds, I was taking tincture of opium. So I didn't have much quality of life. Well, a very dear person had been posting about Plexus on Facebook, and I saw her posts, and I decided to contact her to see what Plexus could do for me. I started with the probiotic. Obviously, my issues were, at that time, primarily GI in nature, and so I needed to see what I could do about getting my GI tract at least as healthy as it could be. It's never going to be completely healthy, obviously, but I needed to see what I could do about restoring some health to it. So I ordered the ProBio 5, and truthfully, I did not expect much of anything. Heck, I was already taking 2 probiotics, so what was one more going to do? I stopped the other 2, I started the ProBio, and 3 weeks into it, I had a conversation with my Plexus ambassador, Rachel. During the conversation, I noted that, in fact, I thought I was starting to see results, which kind of surprised me. I didn't expect anything so soon, if at all. And some of the things that I was noticing was that I was less bloated, I had less pain. And from across the room, my husband said, "Honey, I didn't want to curse anything, but I don't think you're in the bathroom as much as you used to be." And the light went on. I had a true light bulb moment. He was absolutely right. While I'm still in there plenty, and I certainly was at that point, it really had started to decrease my number of visits. So, okay, we're 3 weeks into it. Let's order month number 2. I ordered the 2nd month of the ProBio 5, and as time went on and I was taking that, I noticed more and more relief from my symptoms. Now, mine is kind of an extreme case where I do not have a large intestine. So I know that I am never going to be cured. I know that I am never going to live a quote-unquote normal life from a GI perspective. But the quality of my life today is so much better than it was prior to Plexus. I can't even explain it to you. So I decided that I needed to have the products in my life. I had also, prior to my surgery, lost 85 pounds. I had weighed well over 220 pounds, and I had worked really, really hard to lose 85 pounds. Well, during the transition period, when I was sick, had the surgery, I gained back almost all of that weight. So I decided to give the Slim a try. So while I was on the Slim, what I noticed before I ever even noticed weight loss was I was sleeping better. I have never slept. I honestly don't think I have ever had a normal night's sleep in my life. It was just one of those things for me. I would sleep 3, 4, maybe 5 hours if I was lucky, and I felt that was a good night's sleep. Since I used the Slim, I started sleeping through the night. Yes, I would get up because of my GI issues again, but when I did, I could go back to bed and I went back to sleep. So as my sleep started to improve, so did my energy level. Now all of a sudden, I actually wanted to get out of bed. I wanted to do some things. I was making meals again. That was like a whole new ball game for me. I hadn't done it in so long. I had such an improvement in my mood because I could start to see positive changes happening in my life. So it's like that whole big circle, only this time it wasn't a vicious circle of pain and GI issues and weight gain. It was a very positive circle. It was improved sleep, it was improved mood, increased energy, weight loss. It was amazing. Well, I had been out of work for over 2 years because of my medical condition at this point. My husband, 3 days after my surgery, 3 days after my life-altering surgery, my husband got laid off from his job and had been out of work for over a year. So while I recognized what these products were doing for me, and how desperately I needed to have them, I honestly didn't think that I could afford to continue taking them. So I decided, okay, let's bite the bullet here. We'll pay the $34.95. We'll become an ambassador, and I'll just buy the products at wholesale. It's going to cost me $34.95, but I'll save it in the long run, and I'll still be able to take my products. So that's what I did. So weeks go by, maybe even a month, and all of a sudden, people start noticing changes. And it's, Kat, what are you doing? Kat, you look great. Kat, you're obviously feeling better. What are you doing? And so I needed to start sharing Plexus. I just started telling everybody who would listen to me about how great these products are. And that's what I'm here to tell you today. Whether you are looking to lose some weight, whether you have GI issues, you have tummy troubles, you have skin rash issues, you have respiratory issues, whether you have chronic pain, there are so many issues that Plexus products can help you with. And the best part, there's a 60-day money-back guarantee. You are risking virtually nothing to try these products. You buy the products, you try them for 60 days. If you don't notice some changes, if you don't notice better mood, better sleep, weight loss, reduction in pain, if you don't notice that you are just feeling better overall, then you can request your money back, and Plexus will give you your money back for those products. It's just amazing. It is such a good company to be involved with. The products are all natural. They're simply amazing. I'm not putting chemicals in my body like all of those prescriptions that the doctors were writing for me. Yeah, those 8 bottles of chemicals that I didn't think twice about putting into my body. Those other 4 that they had me buying over the counter, one of those now actually recently has been in the news for a link to cancer. And they had me taking those products all the time. So I can't say that I'm sorry that I'm not taking them anymore. I'm just really, really thrilled that I found Plexus at the right time for me. And I invite you to investigate these products to see what they can do for you. Call me, message me, visit my website. Let's get you started on these and see just how Plexus may be able to help you too. Again, this is my story. This is my journey. Everybody's journey is going to be different. I also invite you to watch some of the other videos that I can connect you with so that you can see some other folks' journey as well. Thanks.